Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast, and now here's the guy who literally just got back from running into the other room. I'm like Jackson in the HOH competition. I left some sound clips that I didn't have on the Dropbox for tonight's show. I'm Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody. Final Big Brother live show on a Sunday. You think we'd have it figured out now, but no. Still a work in progress, as was maybe tonight's episode. But we've got a great panel to talk about it here with you tonight live. And so let's bring in our panel, of course, a man who needs no introduction, been with you all summer long, the great Taran Armstrong. Taran, how are you?
I'm doing great. Sure, Big Brother stole my idea, but it's fine. I'm not bitter about it.
Yes. What was your idea?
The game recaps.
Oh, yes. So you did it, much more in an entertaining fashion this weekend.
No, yeah, I was actually really, we'll talk plenty about the episode, but I was actually pretty happy with the fact that they were doing this. I do them for a reason. I think it's fun to look back at the individual games across the season.
Yeah, I feel like it was a bit of a throwback to maybe the older school Big Brother in terms of the way that they might do that. But speaking of old school Big Brother, we're very excited to have with us again on the Sunday night before the finale, the great Mr. Matt Hoffman. Matt, how are you?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I do need, unlike Taran, I do need an introduction as I read through this chat room and no one knows who I am.
Yes.
What season was this guy on?
Yes.
One guy, your big fan, Doom Turkey, goes,
Yes.
Oh, Matt reminds me of Kathy.
Yes. Everybody knows Matt from Big Brother 19.
What were you trying to do?
Huh?
Matt, what happened to your beard? How's
Why?
Raven?
Dead. Everyone's dead.
All right.
The wife's dead. Raven's dead. Everybody involved with me is
Oh, no.
dead. We're all dead.
It's got real. All right.
Got real.
Well, anyway, we're very excited to have Matt here with us to talk about this episode. Kind of a weird episode. Feels like that they were trying some stuff out tonight. We'll talk about if it worked, if it didn't, whether we would have preferred just to recap the recap here tonight. So hashtag RHAP. Get your questions in because I think we can take a few questions tonight, Taran.
A couple.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so that's what's coming up here tonight. So excited to be here with you. Taran, we haven't talked this through. We do have some breaking news in regards to the schedule for Wednesday night.
Yes,
Okay.
some exciting news.
Okay, here we go. Let's talk it through.
Breaking news are happening now.
Hold on. I'm seeing that people can people hear Matt in the chat room? Scott St. Pierre sent me a text message. Matt is muted. Are we?
Am I good? I'm good.
I think you're good.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking. I'm just.
Yeah, I can.
I'm good.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on.
Good.
Next message coming in from Scott. You hear him, right, Taran?
I'm hearing yeses in the. I'm seeing yeses in the
Okay.
chat. They can hear him.
All right. Maybe
It's really
maybe
excited.
a false alarm from Scott St. Pierre. All right. That was.
I just wasn't talking. I wasn't interrupting.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Wednesday night, very exciting. Big finale night. Also Survivor premiere, but we will have a special night of coverage for you. That Taran, for the first time ever, I think, Brent Wolgamott will be hosting the Big Brother finale recap.
Oh God, what have we done?
Huge news, Matt.
That is, I can't believe it. I mean, I never expected that.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Brent Wolgamott will be hosting the Big Brother finale recap as Taran Armstrong and myself will be in the Big Brother backyard to talk to 16 house guests. Matt, can you believe it?
16.
Yeah.
Wow, what a treat. Will Swaggy C be there? You think?
No. Well, I think he might be in the building, but I don't think he's going to be
In the
doing
building, just chilling.
I don't know why
Very
they
exciting.
would have him do.
That is exciting.
Right.
I shouldn't be sarcastic. It is very.
Yeah,
exciting.
very, very exciting. Now, Taran, you've been covering Big Brother for many, many years. You've been with this cast every single day of the season. What will it be like for you to finally be in the Big Brother backyard with the 16 house guests?
I think it will be very, very strange that my childhood self will be like, this is where Kaser and Cappy got into a fight. This is where Reagan and Rachel got into a fight. Lots of fights taking place in the backyard. Actually,
Yeah.
Jerry fell into the pool.
Jerry fell into the pool.
Thing.
I'll probably be looking for where a certain shack was placed.
Right.
It'll be interesting.
Matt fought with Mark also. So lots of
That was a rough one. I remember that.
lots of stuff.
I got they threw the stuff in my eye, didn't it?
pickle juice.
Or is that someone else? What did I do?
I think that's right. Anyway, so very excited. So we will have those. We will not be live with the exit interviews. They will be recorded. Podcast and video to come. And so we will have if people want to give us some suggestions for questions to ask, okay, we will also Matt, maybe we can workshop some questions tonight for the Big Brother cast.
I think that would be a great idea. We probably have a lot of things to ask them about.
Probably have a lot of things to ask them about.
A lot of questions, a lot of inappropriate questions.
Yes, well, that'll be my job, and then Taran can ask them about the game.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to ask them specific questions about things.
Okay, all right. We only get a couple of minutes though, so we'll have to. I don't know how far we can we can get with too many. All right, so that's coming up on Wednesday. I saw also in the chat, hey, what's going on with Survivor? Stephen Fishback is going to be live with Dominic Abate after the episode. So for people, but I guess for you guys, I guess who are listening to the podcast, be on the lookout. But they'll be live for all the people that don't care about Big Brother. But that's not you guys because you're watching Sunday night recap of a really weird episode. Okay? All right. So I guess, Taran, talk to me big picture. What'd you think about what they did here on this Sunday night?
I mean, like I said, I actually liked the recap of their games. This is something that they have done a little bit in the past. It's something I've always enjoyed. They usually do it on kind of like finale night and kind of go through like this season on Big Brother. And then they run through the whole season, usually from just an overview perspective. They have gone back and done some more specific game perspectives, but I feel like this is one of the more in-depth versions we've gotten from the show. And I do like it. I like hearing from the players themselves how they view their own game moving throughout the season and some of the things that they have done and they feel that that were the most impressive things that they've done.
Yeah.
So I really liked it.
Matt, what do you make of all this? I feel like that we've talked about this, especially last season, where it was like, why do we have a whole recap tonight, and then we're gonna yada yada the finale? We're gonna see 3 parts of a competition. We're gonna see no chance for the finalists to talk to the jury. Everything is boom, boom, boom. Why don't we move some of this to this night where we have? And I feel like they listen.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this stuff. I think it reminds me of, I'm a consummate, like, I get obsessed when I watch things. Like, even if it's terrible, I just have to stick with it. So I'm not like, I won't fast forward through junky stuff. But the one thing I'd always fast forward through is on Survivor, when they used to, like, on that last episode, and they'd like recap everybody's games. It was horrible.
The
and
Fallen Comrades, you didn't like that? The Rites of Passage?
I don't want to hear about the Fallen Comrades. I have a terrible memory. I don't like to revisit all of the junk, and particularly like what Taran said about the people explaining their games. I mean, I guess so, but I just feel they're so disillusioned. Like, I'd much rather hear Taran rehash a player's season than them, because it just, I don't know. It's just, and they're irritating people, and it's just, the whole thing is like, I don't want to hear any of that. I want to see like new stuff. Even like when we used to do the recaps of the recaps, at least it was like they'd throw in a little bit of new goof, like them goofing around the table, stuff to, I don't know. This was no good. This was a real sinker for me.
Yeah. We had that. We had the part 1 of the HOH. We had a diary room montage, and we also had an interview with the final 3 from last season, Taran. It was a real mishmash.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, what was this?
It was very strange. I almost felt like they were going to do just the whole episode, basically game recaps, but then that ended about 15 or so minutes in. And yeah, then we got, an interview with the final 3 from last year. We got the diary room montage, which I do think is the best part of the typical recap. So that's good that part survived, I guess. And then I guess Julie was kind of the host of this instead of like a Derek or something.
She finally didn't look like a total goof. She actually like looked kind of her dress was normal and everything. I felt like we were all have-nots. Like and this was like our slop. It was just a mishmash of junk thrown together. We were forced to eat for an hour. It's terrible.
Yeah. No, it's weird. I mean, this was definitely recorded on Thursday, right, Taran?
Yes. So apparently they taped the eviction a little bit early so that they could film this after.
Yeah. Matt, do you think that Julie recorded like a congratulations, Holly, on winning part 1 of the HOH? Or do you think that then congratulations, Nicole, on winning part 1 of the HOH competition? And they just like whoever won, they just aired that one?
That's absolutely what they must have done, right? I mean, there's no other alternative around that.
Yeah. So yeah, they must have fit this all in. The feeds were down for a while, right on Thursday night, Taran.
Yes, they were down for a while. Personally, if I were Julie, I would have just refused to record any line other than Nicole, you have won parts 1 and 3 of the final 3 HOH. They're like, sorry guys, you're just gonna have to make it fit. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll talk about the comps, and then also we'll get into everything from the live feed spoilers of part 2 of the HOH later on in the show. I guess I
feel like this is more organized already than the CBS thing we just sat through. You just laid out like a nice, clear plan, and it made sense, and everything had a nice order, succinct order to it. What did we sit through, man? This was terrible. This was the worst of all the kind of recaps.
Yeah, because at least the recap of the recap, we have fun with it. It's so terrible that like this was sort of like neither. This was not.
Did we have a celebrity injection? We didn't have a musical performance, but did anyone visit that? No, see, that's a problem.
Taran, did anybody visit? No Ziggy Marley, no BB Rexa.
They basically brought back BB-19, like
Ovi
visited. True.
Caitlyn came to the house at one point.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Could they not get anybody? I mean, we didn't even see Matt, Bob, and Abishola host a veto competition this fall.
Yeah, is young Sheldon still around? Or
young Sheldon is still on. Yeah,
still hanging in there, doing stuff. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, Patricia Heaton didn't even come in to promote her new show on CBS. So, yeah,
no Sheryl Crow.
No Sheryl Crow for that was like 16 years ago or whatever.
It feels like mere months ago, Rob.
For us, it was recently.
I'm still waiting for my call to host the comp, CBS, if you're tuned in,
yes.
by the way.
Matt, would you be willing to host the jury roundtable?
I would. Oh, boy, would I. I'd do it for free. I'd pay them to host the jury roundtable.
How much?
Let's get some shit done.
Put out an offer.
No, CBS, I don't have anything, but whatever you want to take from me, you've taken it all. Take more. And I'll do your jury
$500. You pay $500.
Fine, so
yes.
You'll turn in your Diamond Power Veto.
I won't.
Yeah.
I won't do that.
Okay. All right. So we saw a little bit of game talk, Taran, where it seemed like that we saw both Jackson, also known as Mickey, and Holly both pitching Nicole on taking Nicole to, or Nicole taking them to the final 2 in this episode, and Nicole talking about she definitely wasn't going to be fooled by Mickey.
Yes, I thought you were going to play a clip.
No, I do. I'm going to play a clip. So yeah, that Julie set this up though, because she said that for Nicole, she does not want to be in the house with the showmans. In fact, this was her worst nightmare.
Nicole was faced with her worst nightmare, being left alone in the house with Mickey and Holly.
Now, Matt, haven't they been drilling us all season with Nicole's worst nightmare is birds?
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. What are we supposed to believe, big brother?
You're forgetting that Holly is an old buzzard.
Oh. Yes. Old buzzard Holly.
That's the one.
Yes.
I'm just Holly from the backwoods of Wyoming.
Yeah, just Holly from the backwoods of Wyoming.
Holly Allen, 24.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just backwoods Holly. What is this a new thing that she's added to that? Backwoods Wyoming?
I haven't heard it bore.
Yeah.
Typically it's Wyoming.
Yeah. Is she going?
The thing about Wyoming.
What does that mean? What's she insinuating?
I
Does she come from like the hills have eyes? Like is it like Ute rednecks and incest? What are we? What are
I
we
don't know.
getting at
Is she trying to play for America's favorite player? We're injecting that she's from backwoods Wyoming.
I don't know. Is that even a thing? Like, I'm Googling backwoods right now, and I'm having trouble
What did you
finding any
find
kind
out?
of.
Is Holly's
even-
picture could show up and like
even
Duke
urban,
image?
even Urban Dictionary is telling me something different.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got into the games of the three players, and I wonder, Taran, was there a revisionist history going on with either Jackson or Holly's game? Were we trying to portray them in a more positive light?
I definitely was interested watching this because in Big Brother, there's typically not much edgic to it. It takes place live, and so it's hard to sort of get a read on who is doing well and who's doing poorly. But obviously, the producers know, or at least have a sense of where the jury might be leaning. And so I was trying to read into that as we watched these packages. And I definitely got the sense that that Jackson's was meant to prop him up as the strategist, the game player, that he played aggressively, that he played well, that he I got into Grateful and I did that on purpose to lower my target.
Mm-hmm.
And my Jackson voice is not quite up to par because I've been doing game recaps for the last 2 mornings, but it's still going to be all right.
Yeah. Jackson voice is probably off because I've been yelling at my kids all weekend.
Well,
it's not as good.
About Big Brother? Or,
no, just about.
I've just been
listening.
yelling at
Are
imaginary
they
house guests.
are they Holly fans or something?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Get it right.
It really does a number on my impressions.
Yeah. Well, so Jackson's definitely felt like it was him describing like, yeah, I played the game. I did really well. And in terms of revisionist history, I actually felt like the way that he described his game wasn't all that bad. He talked about doing what he needed to do. He did mention, once they broke their words, my word meant nothing at that point, which of course is this similar sort of thing that is getting him in trouble with Cliff. But I don't think it was as bad as it was when Cliff was actually there. For the most part, I felt like Jackson's was an all right game recap. Holly's though Holly's felt like they were reaching, right? Like I'm not the only one that felt that way, right? It was like, yeah. And so I knew Kat. That was nice. And I talked to people and I was in an alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was with Mickey and then things with Mickey got weird and then they weren't weird anymore. And then my relationship grew with Mickey and then Mickey saved me and we worked together to save me. And then I wasn't on the block for a long time, but then I was, and then Mickey helped me after that. And it just felt like there was a lot of Mickey and there wasn't a lot of Holly in Jackson's.
I will say the one thing I think that sort of got overlooked, which I think was probably the biggest point in the game for them, was then the whole day 44 thing, Taran. She was really good that night. I feel like that's sort of gotten lost in the shuffle of that he was, floundering. He was talking to Jack. Kat was about to spill the beans. She came out and just flat out like, absolutely effing not. I don't know anybody. I don't know what he's talking about. She cleaned up that whole mess. I will say that's the best thing I could say about Holly.
I agree. I think that was the best moment of her game. I talked about it during the game recap. Unfortunately, she wouldn't have had to do any of that if she just hadn't nominated her closest secret ally in the house. That would have been a nice way to avoid all of that.
Yes. Matt, this final 3, do you have any thoughts on them as somebody who's studied the game, been there?
Have I? Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's taking a showman's to the final 3 is bad news. It's bad news. Why would you do that? Why would this? How did it get to this? We had so many showmances. They should have been so easy to just split apart, throughout the season. It seems like such foolish gameplay that they deserve to win. And I don't necessarily want certainly not Holly. Jackson, I think, is deserving of a win, probably more so than anyone else, I guess. But it's just like it's sad that it got to this, because then what this happens is this encourages showmances more, as if we needed more of that. And then next season, everyone's going to want to be in a showmance again because they can do it. Oh, look, it worked. And we don't want to see that working. We want to see it always failing so people stop doing the showman shit.
Yeah. I also one of the things that was interesting, Taran, was the with the Jack and Jackson sort of like going back to visiting that. That Jackson talked about how that both him and Jack were on the block together 2 times, and both times that Jack was the person who was going to be on the block. It was almost like in a normal house, you would have had just one of those guys, and they would have gone home. But somehow in this house, you had 2 of those guys, and Jack was able to actually have a meat shield. In any other house, he's the meat shield. But somehow in this house, because Jack was there, he was able to hide.
Yeah, and not for nothing as well, that when Jackson and Jack were on the block together the first time, one of them would have gone home if not for the Diamond Power Veto twist.
Diamond Power Veto strikes again.
Diamond Power Veto, slaying people.
Yes. Boy.
Wasn't used as well as I used it, but...
I mean, Diamond Power Veto was used to take out Kathy and Bella, 2 masterminds of the game.
Yeah.
So
they should come back as a power duo like the Slade for next season.
So Taran said this all came down to that they put these twists in there, and because of the twist, that's how we ended up in this situation?
Well, I mean, I think that certainly the first half of the game, it kept the big alliance together for as long as it did. Camp Comeback, the Diamond Power Veto, various things kept things stable for Jackson. He certainly was helped by the Diamond Power Veto during that week, but he won the veto anyway. He would have been saved regardless of the Diamond Power Veto. The thing is that Jack would have gone home. The game would have looked very different. So I wouldn't necessarily fault Jackson's game in particular for that particular moment. But there are other instances throughout the season where, he certainly benefited from Holly's relationship with Kat in a very weird and incestuous way. But for the most part, I think that Jackson's game is one of the cleanest in terms of this season overall, benefiting from twists or from pre-existing relationships.
Okay, Matt, let's talk about, I thought this was kind of a weird concept that they went for. They had kind of a round table with the final 3 from last season, okay? Big Brother 20. Let's bring in the winner, KC, Tyler, and JC to talk about what's going on, and this really went nowhere.
Yeah, well, listen, on a personal level, I've had varying degrees, like my communication with the 3 of them spans a whole spectrum.
Yes.
From like Tyler is obviously, I will never speak to him. He's untouchable. He's Tyler. He's from Tangela. Like, no, he has no business speaking to me. So that's a 0. JC, when I was in New York for the BB premiere, I went up to him to say hello, and he thought I was a fan. So that was my interaction with JC. It's kind of in the middle.
How did you respond?
I was grateful. I was a fan. I mean, he wasn't wrong. I guess technically I'm a fan. Yes. So, and then we moved. Then KC, on the other hand, was like roomies in the Big Brother halfway house that we were all put up in Brooklyn. And she was actually so affable and cool and friendly and personable. Yeah, really, these 3 across the board. I have a lot of different opinions on them all. Tonight, kind of what I would expect out of all of them, honestly. I sort of understood JC. Tyler was on another planet as usual, and Casey had a lot of good things to say, but she maybe just, people don't pay attention, I don't think. But if you really do, she's, got some good stuff.
Tara, could you talk this through? Why go with all 3? I could see, that seems just like a weird call to me to go with the final 3 from last season.
I mean, I think it's the final 3 because we are at the final 3, so it's one final 3 commenting on another.
Really at all. Okay, final 3. What should people be doing right now? What do you like?
It was a highly edited segment. That may have been a question that was asked, and they just didn't get an answer that they found very interesting.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So
I think we need more Dan Giesling and Derek Levasseur time. Can we bring them back to analyze something? Right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like those guys have material.
Since we've seen them excessively.
So
I shouldn't pick them. I like them. I'm not.
Yeah.
They're great players. What am I doing?
I thought they should have you for the round table, Matt.
Right? People picking on me is what you.
Yeah.
I would love to do the round table if it was Casey, Tyler, JC, and me
and you. And let's bring on this.
How puzzling for the CBS viewers.
Yes. Okay. We'll talk about puzzles later. But Taran, I thought it was so weird also that Julie First off, she really hated the move to vote Tommy out. She talked about it again. She's like, guys, in what world was this a good idea to vote out Tommy? Why would anybody think that was a good idea? It was like the easiest slam dunk ever.
They're really pushing this like on social. Like I think there was a Facebook post that was making fun of Cliff about this. Like they're making sure to bring it up, like slam him in his interview multiple times. Bring it up to make sure that Casey, Tyler, and JC all make fun of him for it. They really, for the people that think that production wants Jackson to win this thing, I guarantee you they really wanted Tommy to win, and they were really mad that Cliff allowed Jackson to.
Yeah. So, Matt, I also thought it was really weird that there was all this talk about like, what is Nicole doing? She went to the final 3 with a showmance. Isn't that like the dumbest thing ever? And I felt this was weird on a couple of levels of that, Tyler, I believe if I recall last season was in a showmance, and the winner, Casey, like wasn't her plan to also go to the final 3 with a showmance?
You're right. I have no memory of like yesterday, let alone last season. But now that you say that, you're absolutely correct. That's really weird that worked out, huh?
Wasn't that a monkey wrench that JC threw in by winning the Final Four HOH, Taran?
Yeah, it's very much the case. So
I mean, it seems weird, right? Like, what moron would think going to the Final 3 with a showmance is a good idea?
No, the person that won the game last season, apparently.
But I don't think we should take that isolated incident. Like, that's an anomaly situation. Typically, it is a bonehead move. I would say 9 times out of 10, more than that probably, you would not want to do that. That just happened. That did happen to work out well.
Yeah, it was just I felt like, Taran, there was like no context between here are 3 people, and there was like no mention of anything that happened in Big Brother 20. It was just like, all right, what do these 3 people think about what's going on now?
Yeah, it's I'm with you. I mean, it felt like they hyped it up, and then it was very, very short.
Yeah.
It felt like I don't know if they didn't get what they wanted out of this.
I don't think
so. But yeah,
I mean, I don't. Yeah.
It felt weird. It felt weird how short it was, and how and that's all we've got from these 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt, do you think
Julie Chen is not like a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist either. Their questions are never typically hard hitting. So, I mean, we expect nothing less from a typical Julie Chen interview,
Yeah. Matt, do you think that they were hoping that the Big Brother 20 Final 3 would like drag the Big Brother 21 Final 3 a little bit?
I don't think so. And I only say this because of knowing of people who have done these hokey bullshit stage interviews with Julie Chen, mid-season. From what my understanding is, this is all very like before you even get to CBS, like at home, you've emailed your questions and your answers. It's just so fucking. So that's why I think they knew exactly what they were getting.
Yeah. Valerie in the chat says that JC said on Twitter it was like Jerry Springer. Yeah, Taran, this was a very boring episode of Jerry Springer.
Yeah, let me talk about the post real quick, because if you saw, like, it was a big bait and switch, because he said that and he posted a screenshot and it was like him pointing. It looked like and it must have been just like an innocuous screen grab of his arm waving.
Well, but that's the thing though. Like, whenever I've seen JC in an interview, like, he is usually very fun. Like, he is usually like poking fun at like, he's the kind of person that would have been like, Casey, didn't you take a showmance to the final 3, you dummy? I wonder if they just cut a lot of that out. Yeah.
I feel like that maybe that's why they had him there. Also, they felt like, okay, well, he's going to like, spice up the segment with some of his classic JC-isms. I thought he only said one thing that was funny.
JC, I'm very surprised Jackson made it all the way here. I thought he was getting out right after Jack, so...
I think
who is Yak?
Yak, you remember Yak?
I don't. I must have been on a
He talked a lot.
I liked also. I thought that JC looked good. I liked what he did with his hair also. That was good.
What was that? What was that? What do we call that?
I don't know.
It's like I don't know.
It was like
everything I'm thinking of, I shouldn't say. Yeah, I'm doing good, Rob. I'm stopping myself,
and
I'm just not talking.
It was like long and curly at the top, but then also like a really high fade. I like it.
He's doing his own thing. He's doing the JC.
Yeah.
You know, he's starting a thing. Where was Steve? Do you think they even asked Steve to come and give it?
Summer of Steve?
Maybe for finale night. Yeah.
Summer of Steve 2018.
I mean, they wasted all their time with the proposal. Why not spend some time this season talking to Steve a little bit? See what he's up to, what he wants to do.
That would be good if we could get him to come in, talk about that.
They love wasting time.
He was an undercover cop last season, and now he's here to tell us about what he's spotting in the Big Brother house. We'll talk to Steve coming up next.
So what happened is Yak and Yak's son.
That's why they have to call him Mickey. So it's too hard to say. Okay. Then and predictions across the board. Casey likes Nicole to win. Tyler, the whole Tyler is bad at predictions. Is a big thing.
Yes, he's bad. Given his track record at predicting things, he's going to predict Jackson's going to win.
Yes. Okay.
Which seems like he was trying to put that curse on him.
Yes, I think so. I've done that also. That I have to tip my cap to Tyler. That's a classic move. Where man, I'm so bad at picking the winner. Sometimes I will put. I think I did this with Joey Amazing last season. Everybody said, "Oh, Joey Amazing's gonna win." I said, "Watch this, winner pick." I didn't even know that was the Tyler move. So. You can do that. Put the jinx on somebody.
You're still pioneering reality show strategies all these years.
Yes, I'm always thinking. And then JC thought Holly was going to win, Matt.
That's a weird one. I feel like these are things that are just kind of like, okay, one of you has to pick this, and when you pick this, JC, I'm sorry, you're left with Holly.
Matt, do you think that we will see come October 31st that Holly will throw a big Halloween party in backwoods Wyoming and invite all of the Big Brother contestants to come and appear? She'll call it Hollyween.
Hollyween,
yes.
Right? Is she doing that?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
And take over the mantle of Hoffaween.
She better not. I mean, it'd be a great party. Would she invite me? Would we be able to go?
Probably not.
Would Steve be there?
Summer Steve? Yeah. Okay. So that was it. That was it for the Big Brother 20 final three. So yeah, no mention. What's going on? What are you guys up to these days? What
are you influencing? Tyler, what kind of beauty products are you hawking?
They never do those like catching up with the previous house guests anymore.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be like, what are you hey, I'm holding the phone up.
And far be it from me, Taran, to touch the hot stove, but I feel like they didn't even throw like, hey Tyler, you and Angela still together? Like, I feel like that you would think that we would get a check-in.
I agree with that, yeah.
I mean, was Tangela more a thing like after the show ended than it was on the show itself?
I think it was a thing on the show, if I remember.
What's wrong with you guys? Tangela is always a thing. What do you guys talk?
It's a huge thing.
About, like,
it's a huge thing. I don't know why they're not talking about it on the show. Yeah. I don't know. So bad job by Big Brother. Bad job. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we end up with, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about diary room montage. Matt, do you have any fun diary room stories you can share with us, Matt?
Fun diary room stories. No, I found it odd. I think they went through probably literally every single house guest for the crying thing. I don't know. I didn't feel like that emotional of a place in the diary room. I'm surprised like every single house guest was lost in there.
Yes.
So it's just this little tiny, I don't know. It's not like a soothing, I don't know, man. I don't get it.
You never cried in the diary room?
Never cried in the diary room. Here's a diary room story that is maybe not funny at all. I guess it depends on your sense of humor. I'm going to do this, Rob. It's not bad. So it was a time when I don't know that I've ever told this. How
an
odd.
Exclusive from the hot.
It might be. It was a time in the diary room when it was my like sad week when I just played the worst game and I was like, I'm going home and I deserve it. And at the time, Kathy and Rachel were in jury house, so I'd be joining Kathy and Rachel, which was my nightmare. It's like my bird. And so I was talking to Reagan and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get to jury house. I'm just going to hang myself when I get there. And I get called into the diary room and they were like, hey, we need to make sure you're okay. I go, yeah, why would I not be okay? And they're like, you've been said some weird things over there. I'm like, so they're really concerned. Like they thought, which is like in a way kind of nice, but a little kind of crazy, I think. I mean, who wouldn't have these kinds of insane thoughts when you're joining Rachel and Kathy in the jury house.
Yeah, well, I think that's a testament.
So that's
to the
my
show.
diary story. I was actually really surprised though that they like even gave a shit to when I obviously was off the cuff saying
they
things.
took it literally.
Yeah, there's good people in there. I'm sure they're all scumbags now. This was like 10 years ago.
Well, who knows? Who knows?
It's a shame they didn't have the diary room montages during Big Brother 12. They would have been able to show that.
Talking how I'm not going to kill myself.
Yeah.
Throw that in like the
no, seriously though, I don't actually plan on hanging myself.
Yeah. All right. We saw a bunch of highlights here in the diary room montage. You know, so we have it's very formulaic, Taran. Of we get silly, we get crying, we get cursing. We run the table of all the human emotions.
Yeah, and we also get. So wait, what's the adjective?
Yes.
What is?
Yes, we got to see sis.
The boogers. We got the boogers. That was cool.
A lot of that actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of.
It's cool to see like really hot people, like just ugly, when they're ugly. You know, I love that. I love when hot people get ugly.
Okay, Matt, I have a question here. So we saw a moment where Kat in the diary room, she talked about how she was like reaching down and she was going to be taking Holly's tissues, and she said that was okay because
She stole my man, so I'm stealing her Kleenex.
okay, a throwback to a lot of people might not remember this, but in the beginning of the season, Kat was initially with Jackson, also known as Mickey, and then Holly came in, and then Kat got kicked to the curb, and then Holly took over. Now, first, that was very funny that was in there. Second, do you have like a cubby hole in the diary room? Do you get to keep like personal effects in the diary room?
When I was there, the only thing was there was to the left. There was like a box of makeup sponges, and then like think of powder. And then when you go in, sometimes they'd be like, "Hey, get your sponge and powder your face," and everyone's sponges in a little Ziploc bag. So the worst thing you could do, like,
okay, so I guess Holly in her bag had.
She must have had Kleenex, which is like we would never add extra items or anything. It was just a powder puff with some powder.
So spoiled nowadays with their Kleenex.
Like Kleenex, probably Xanax and stuff. You wouldn't get anything.
Wow. So everybody sort of has like a little receptacle of things, Taran.
This is a whole diary room reveal show tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Q-tips, a whole medical
I can't tell anymore. I've said too much.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
It's a lot going on in the diary room.
Okay.
Do you think they'd be able to fit watermelons in the bags?
Not possible.
Okay.
Taran, did you have any other favorite moments from the diary room montage?
I loved Christy. I just don't want anyone to think I'm fake crying.
Yeah.
I wish I could turn this on and off. I especially loved it because Melissa always thought all season long that she was fake crying all the time.
No, you can't fake that, Matt.
No, how can you fake cry?
Can't fake that. Okay.
Can't fake.
This was my favorite moment from the diary room montage, and going back to one of my favorite house guests of the season.
This is tough.
This is Sam. By the way. There's the music is a little loud.
This is tough. I've been having dreams about my wife, like the past couple nights. Fun dreams.
I love Sam. I'm glad. I feel like nobody likes him, and I think he's great. I loved him.
It totally like it was not matching the tone of the music.
It was so great.
Why didn't we get to hear more about Sam's dreams about his wife?
How fun was that?
His fun dreams.
Christy was too busy talking about her fun dreams with Jack, I think, was the problem. It was almost like somebody, like some assistant editor, queued this clip up for the sad montage because when he says, "I've been dreaming about my wife," it sounds really sad. But then the editor that picked it up, got the part where at the end where he said, "Fun dreams," and then just kind of stuck the whole thing in there. And so, oops, wrong portion, wrong segment.
So yeah, wow, Sam's dreams about his wife. Did that ever come up on the feeds, Taran?
Not that I recall.
I had the craziest dream last night. You wouldn't believe it. I was back in the truck. Love to hear Sam's stories. Okay, maybe we'll ask him on Wednesday if we could get into that.
I'd want to hear more about Sam's wife than Cliff's wife.
Before the wife. Okay, all right. Then we ended up going into our big competition. Big Indiana Jones themed competition, Taran.
Yes, very unlike pretty much any part one of the final 3 HOH we've ever seen. This is very, very historically always been an endurance competition where they hang on to something or stand up on something or whatever. They did a really weird one in Big Brother 18, but apart from that, that was still pretty much just an endurance competition. This was more akin to the slip and slide endurance competition where it's just a bunch of people running back and forth bunch.
Yeah, Matt, what'd you think of this? I mean, big set design, big set piece.
Yeah, in the scheme of part 1 HOHs, I'm with Taran. This is probably up there. It was kind of Super Mario Brothers-y to me in a way, like a Bowser Castle sort of thing. And I thought it was cool. It engaged elements of puzzle with, activity and run around and shit like that. So it was good. As far as part 1 HOHs go, very kind of well constructed and visually was cool. I dug it.
Okay. We went back and forth. I mean, there was not a big mental component to it, Taran. There was the big puzzle. It was a big like foam puzzle to do.
Yeah. So like Survivor challenges often have like an obstacle course ending with a difficult puzzle as sort of the equalizer. The thing that matters the most is the puzzle. This was like the exact opposite of that, where they gave them a fairly easy puzzle. It wasn't the most easy puzzle, but it wasn't like a crazy difficult puzzle either. And then after the puzzle, they were like, and now, just to make sure that the puzzle doesn't matter at all, run back and forth 25 times.
Right. But they really tried to milk this for drama between Jackson and Holly, proving, Matt, that, hey, anybody that's saying that if it's Jackson and Holly in the end, it won't be riveting. You got a taste of that tonight. Stakes couldn't have been higher.
Yeah, this is obvious, right? To even the casual viewer, I feel it must be.
Yeah, well, they went back and forth. It really meant something for Holly to beat Jackson here, Taran. But Mickey had an ace in the hole. He's been practicing.
Puzzles are not as easy as they look on TV. But my mom and I love doing puzzles.
Jackson and Mama love doing puzzles, Taran.
Hey, why do you think he loved being side by side with Holly doing the puzzles? It reminded him of old times.
Yeah.
What kind of puzzles do they do? I wonder.
Me and my boy Jackson, we get a 500, 1,000 piece puzzle. We put that sumbitch together. That was a great time. Again, we have an ice cold watermelon after.
It's a watermelon puzzle.
Yeah.
A puzzle like a stool.
Yeah. So yeah, Jackson.
They're just putting a puzzle together. It's mother-son bonding time. They finally finish. It's a puzzle. It's of a stool. Mommy, why a stool? I don't understand. Well, Jackson, it's time to tell you about the birds and the bees.
It all begins.
Comes full circle. The circle of life. So Jackson is closing in on winning, and again, he's doing it for somebody.
Here we go, Mama. This one's for you.
For Mama.
Have you interviewed his mom?
No, not yet. I feel like shit.
We got to get her on here I wish we could have gotten her tonight.
Yeah.
This would have been a good one to have her in for.
Yeah. So doing it for Mama. For Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to.
Is he has a dad, right? Is that true or not true?
Yeah.
Like, so it's okay. Yeah. So, All right.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's good. It's good family.
Matt, can you recall another Big Brother house guest that was, so much about parents or mom?
Dude, you probably have a sound clip of who I'm thinking of. I would imagine.
yeah. Well, that was.
I mean him immediately.
It might be.
I thought you were
a
asking me because you
sibling.
were
Yeah.
had the finger on the button for that one.
I mean, it's terrible.
There's our duo. So we BB22
Yeah.
is gonna be pairs. Okay, so we got Kathy and Bella,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have Frankie J. Grande with the Team Mama, the Frankie and Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Which I keep nailing these pairs. We'll get them.
Yeah.
Dan and Derek to just wipe everybody out.
Right. But Taran, did Frankie Grande talk that much about his mom? I feel like a lot about sister.
Yeah, it's much more his sister, but we do have the sound clip, so that matters.
The sound clip is just iconic.
The sound clip is actually from when Paul left the house to go be on Candy Crush, Matt.
Yeah, it wasn't
I believe another podcast that you were on with us. Not even from Big Brother.
He was wearing a diaper, wasn't he, at that time? I think he was. I think he like flew in on fairy wings from like a cable.
Okay. So
that was my fun dream. Sorry.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's a new dream. Congratulations to Jackson wins part 1 of the HOH. He comes in the house and then goes to the sink and says something odd, Taran. Can you explain to me what Jackson Mickey is talking about here?
It smells like vegetable bouillon.
What smells like vegetable bouillon? Does he himself smell like vegetable bouillon? Was there?
I'm kind of assuming that was the case. I'm wondering if he was without his deodorant and wasn't able to use it in places, and so therefore smelled like vegetable bouillon.
Is that a good smell? I feel like that might not be bad. It smells good, right? Is that the soup, right? It's like a vegetable soup.
Vegetable soup. Yeah.
What? It's all right, right?
It smells like vegetable bouillon.
All right. So weird, but I mean, okay. I don't know what the point is,
Jen in the chat says the drain. Could the sink have smelled like vegetable bouillon?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't know.
Was there like a slime pit that they fell in? Maybe was there vegetable bouillon that you would fall into?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Does vegetable bouillon have a very distinct smell? Like of all the things, I don't know that I know the smell of vegetable bouillon.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's take some questions. Let's take some questions from the audience. Anything else from the episode? And we made something out of nothing there.
We can go back and talk about everything we just talked about.
Yeah.
A recap of the recap.
Yeah, we made vegetable bouillon out of leftover cucumbers. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take some questions. Where's Gallagher when you need him to come in and smash some watermelons? Matt, were you a Gallagher fan? Did you like when Gallagher showed up on Big Brother Celebrity?
No, did anybody like that?
Yeah, we loved it. Eric and I are still talking about it.
It seems like a Steiny kind of thing.
Yeah, we loved it when Gallagher came in. Remember what we said?
What a life you lead here in the Big Brother house.
Yeah, bring Emu Phillips on this season for real knee slappers of this generation.
Okay. This is a question from Rebecca. She said, I just asked my 17-year-old son if he'll shout me out for our co-puzzle love if he ever makes it on Big Brother. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Guess, Taran, what other activities do you think that Jackson and Mama do to pass the time?
Should we be talking about
puzzles? They do puzzles. What else?
Picking how to pick watermelons, make sure they're nice and firm and tight.
Yes.
And not too loose or anything like that.
Do you think that maybe they make confetti? Is that maybe another like arts and crafts activity?
The confetti is far too revered in the Mickey household to just be made willy-nilly like that. I think they spend
willy-nilly or Willie Nelson.
They playing chess and checkers a lot. Which do they prefer? You think?
A lot of checkers, because that's they play a lot of checkers. Every once in a while they play some chess, and when they win they get just one piece of confetti.
Mm-hmm.
Just one piece. And then they hold that confetti and they add it to their collection of confetti. And someday Jackson hopes to have a full thing of confetti, and he's really hoping that Big Brother will help him achieve that dream.
Okay. All right. This is from Corinne. Comfort gets you killed. That's a new Jackson. Did you say that a lot? Was that in the episode?
Is it in there?
I think he was saying that during the HOH competition.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Comfort, Matt.
Oh, totally. Yeah, Comfort's best. That's why I came in 7th place.
Yeah.
You'd rather die in comfort than live in discomfort.
Yeah, mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Is this a Jeff Schroeder question?
Would you rather be comfortable and die, or would you rather be uncomfortable and live? I guess so. All right. Travis wants to know, is Jackson the best player in competitions of all time? Matt, do you have a thought on this?
He's good. I mean, I'm not gonna dog on him. Frank comes to mind. Frank from 14. I remember being real good at comps. I mean, they come every season as their beefcake alpha male.
Yeah. Well, let me give you. This is what Eric said. We did the Summer of Stein season finale. We did the Oofy Awards for 2019's Big Brother 21. Very evergreen content. You can go back and listen at any time this week. It's going to be just as irrelevant today as it was on Friday. So. That Eric said, you know what? There's a player that could win every competition on every season, but there's an Eric Stein or an Andy or any number of players that vote that person out on week 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like what usually happens in the end game is that one player does start winning more of the competitions, but typically there's still a decent mix of competitions, a lot of crapshoot competitions, mental competitions where the field is pretty even because the questions are pretty easy. And so one person starts to win them for the most part. But Big Brother has never really been the game where you need to get out that person because the competitions in the end game aren't that winnable. However, something that I've been talking about is that in recent seasons, especially this one, a lot of these competitions have had a very, very physical aspect to them, like after doing your puzzle, do 25 laps around the backyard over an obstacle course. And I think that is why you're seeing Jackson win all of these competitions. Even somebody like Nick, right, was able to give Jackson a run for his money when Nick was still in the house in physical competitions. I think it's just Jackson in comparison physically to his opponents that is making him look so dominant.
Taran, it's almost like somebody at Big Brother watched Big Brother Canada 5 and saw Kevin Martin dominate all the quiz competitions, and they walked in. You won't believe this. You won't believe what that guy. We got to change everything. That somebody could beat. They'll beat the system. Somebody found the hack. He's gonna. We can't let us get Kevin Martin here. Get rid of all the quizzes.
It really
they
does seem like
by studying.
It does. It's the opposite of Big Brother Canada with the same problem, where Big Brother Canada is too winnable because the questions are too hard, and the people that know to study from the beginning will just always beat the people who don't study. In Big Brother US, it's almost worse now because physically there's nothing that you can do to get on the same footing as somebody like Jackson if you are Nicole, other than go back in time 5 years and start working out really hard and taking steroids. So it's going to be an issue.
Okay. Matt, what will you do to train when you go back to Big Brother?
I'm still back on that comfort thing, Rob. I don't think I'm doing much training. I feel like I can't do. I could do better, than I did last time, I think. But no training, Rob. Who does it? Big Brother, Okay. It's just one summer, right?
Well, you're living in the past, Matt.
It's a different game now.
It's a different game.
You gotta train.
Okay. I don't want to see you be out early.
Thanks, Rob. No, maybe I should. Who would I train with? Jesse Goddard's?
Yeah. Have you considered CrossFit?
No, Rob. That's a bit much. Okay. I think. Have you?
I've not considered it, but maybe. Okay. Travis says, okay, we got this one. Do we have another question? Or should we get into the live feeds? Okay. Did I see this comp on Nickelodeon?
It's kind of a Nickelodeon thing. Yeah.
Okay. Has anybody ever not cried in the DR? Yeah, Matt Hoffman.
Hey. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Matt, we didn't get to talk to you about what we checked in with the jury. You spent time in the jury house in Big Brother 12.
I had a unique jury house experience, I would say, yes.
Yes. Why was it so
Certainly.
unique?
Well, night one, no one wanted me to sleep anywhere near them, so they turned the study of the house into, they wheeled a rollaway bed in there so I could just isolate myself. And I had just this little, my bedroom became the library or the study of this house.
That's
so I was
nice.
kind of ostracized in the Big Brother jury house.
Yeah. Okay.
They were afraid that your lying
They were
germs would spread on
angry.
them.
Everyone was very angry about the whole line.
Yeah.
You talk about bitter people. These people
Yes.
were very upset
But
for a while.
much like we
They
saw
got
with
over it.
Tommy and Christy, that you two took everybody aside to have a reveal that your
A big reveal
yes,
party.
that because you had told people in the house that your wife was suffering from a debilitating illness. And,
I feel like people were more shocked with my reveal by just a little bit than probably the whole Tommy Christie thing.
yeah.
Do you think that your strategy, if it was revealed that you were lying, your strategy would have been, well, you know what? It's you guys' fault. I would never have lied about my wife if you hadn't lied to me first.
Yeah, what do you do? What do you do if you get called out and something
Yeah.
like that? Andrew was almost on to me.
Did you consider after watching this season,
Smartest player of Big Brother 12, by the way.
Matt, when you were up on the block in Big Brother 12, did you consider telling people your big secret in the house like Tommy did?
No, that would have been how disastrous would that have been? Hey guys, I gotta come up here. I gotta tell you this one thing real quick. This is really funny. Oh, she's totally fine, guys.
So, well,
Will you save me? Will you
Maybe
save
they would
me
have been
now?
like, you know what? He's a jury goat now. He's a final
But
two
yeah,
goat.
at some point, I feel like if you're drawing dead, like
That's true.
you just
there weren't there
paradigm
weren't
shift.
jury goats when I was on Big Brother. That kind of started, I think it really started, I'm gonna say, with like Spencer. I think he was the first like really true that just like got pulled. You know, I'm not saying he got pulled in a way like he wasn't competent, but like where he was totally accepting. I don't think before that we had someone who's like, I'm the guy. I'm going to be your block guy.
Yeah.
And then I know I'm safe and I'm cool and it doesn't matter. That was a Spencer season 15 thing. So, and now we've kind of see them a lot. It's cool. But no, I didn't have that back then. And in a way, it would have been a total, you're right. It would have been such a solid move to be like, well, let's just take this guy because why not?
Matt, can you help us make sense about Nick Macaroni on this season? And
who knew he would be such a cocksmith in the season of all the people, right? Nick, what? Crazy. That's
Matt. I feel like
between Nick and Jackson,
it's a bigger twist than Camp Comeback. It's a bigger twist. The biggest twist of the season is
ladies
this
man, ladies man,
ladies
yes.
man. Bella
and yeah.
He gets her to bring her with her boyfriend or whatever.
Mr. Steal
And then,
Your
like,
Girl, yeah.
Like a month later, he's humping the Broadway guy. then that guy's guy. Now he's with Kat. This is crazy. He's Nick. He's got the goofy hair.
Yeah,
It's just
Matt, I feel like that you could potentially pull off the Nick look. Have you
no! Why are you
have
doing
you
this to me?
considered growing out bangs?
We're friends. Were we friends, Rob? Why are you doing this?
I think I'm not saying that you have it. I'm saying that if you wanted to, you could get there.
I don't want to. I don't want to at all do that. And
Okay,
you know what
I guess.
People say about Big Brother contestants, he always complains, oh, you shouldn't, all these fans calling the trolls will try and get you fired from your job. Like, Nick's going to get himself fired from his own job, right? Like, he's a therapist, right? He's a clientele. Who's going to, I want that guy to help me.
Yeah.
Unless you're
I think a lot of lonely men.
Yeah.
if you want to be a cocksmith like Nick, you should be like the Nick the cocksmith therapist. And that's like his thing. He just kind of like trains you to
Nick,
be like a pickup
I want you to teach me everything you know. Yo, dude. I don't know.
Nick the pickup artist.
When you have it. You have
Nick
it.
artist. He gives his own spin-off, the Nick artist.
Yeah. He's gonna be the next Nick out of Big Brother with his own TV show.
Matt, do you think it will work for Nick and Kat outside the house?
Oh, totally. Of course, Rob. They're like marriage, children, longevity.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, but you don't think that Nick will be tempted when he meets all of the other Big Brother alumni?
He's going to be hooking up with Julie Chen when the confetti's falling. You're going to see him making out with her in the corner. It's going to be ridiculous. She's going to he's got the mist. People talk about Dan Giesling. No way. This is the mist.
Okay. Yeah. Nick, the must. Yeah. Okay. All right. Should we go from all this happy talk to some live feeds? Should we do?
Let's do it.
Let's see. All right. Let's talk about that. Okay. So just this. Okay, we're gonna talk about part 2 of the final HOH. We're gonna do that now. If you're gonna leave us, then I guess you'll be back on Wednesday night when Brent is going to be hosting our coverage of the Big Brother 21 finale. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be on Wednesday night live at 11:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And then shortly thereafter, Taran and I are going to come back and we'll post the interviews from the Big Brother backyard as well. So be on the lookout for that. All right. And for everybody else, let's do our Big Brother 21 live feed spoilers for the last time of the season.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is
a spoiler.
Warning.
A spoiler.
Warning means that an actual
spoiler
against this country has been detected and that protective action should be taken.
All right. Spoilers. Spoilers. All right. Taran, we got to hear Nicole at the end of the episode. She calls her shot. Calls her shot here. Mickey won part 1, but hey, don't worry, because Nicole is coming for part 2.
I'm not bringing Mickey. I am bringing Holly. He is in for a rude awakening when I'm like, get to stepping. I know it in my soul that it could happen and it will happen. It will. And
why don't you manifest the truth, bro?
Yeah, unfortunately, she was not manifesting the truth because she did not win part 2 of the final 3 HOH. Yeah. Apparently, so it was the competition that we normally see, part 2 here, that they were climbing a wall and answering questions about days. There's some speculation that she might have had some kind of panic attack up on the wall, that she was very nervous about the climbing, and it did not agree with her.
It's almost
and
as if,
ultimately,
being in the house with a showmance is not, in fact, her worst nightmare.
yeah. You know what? Maybe she climbed the wall, saw a bird up there, and was like, oh my God, I can't escape. This is no good.
Yeah.
This serious question. What is height-wise? What does Holly have on Nicole? Because the thing with climbing, that's an advantage, I would say.
I can't imagine she's that much taller than
Nicole. Oh, because Nicole seems real tiny to me, and I think Holly seemed taller, but maybe not.
I think Holly is a bit taller, yeah. But yeah, Holly said she was flying up and down the wall, and Nicole not so much.
Yeah. I know we saw it was going to be a day's competition. We thought that was going to be the deal breaker for Holly, that this was going to be Nicole's in, but Matt, she had to win a competition. She had to win a part here.
Well, I mean, I think she has a play. I think she can make her way into final 2 if Jackson has the choice, because she has to play on Jackson's probably biggest Achilles heel, which is his libido. And if she can somehow have sex with him in the final few days of the season and with the showmance, then, and this is possible because he'll do it, then he'll take her.
Well, I guess let's just talk this through, because as Dan Giesling would say, there's always a way. There's always a way, Taran.
Always
there's
a way.
Always a way.
You gotta think.
I don't know if this is it. I don't know if I guess Jackson that Cliff did say the only thing that Jackson loved more than watermelon was women.
It's true.
Could Nicole throw herself at Mickey here?
I don't want her to do this, but I mean, look, if you
what if she just made
and all you want to do is wiggle, it's your dream.
What if she just made Holly jealous? Is that possible?
Well, that's very possible.
This actually is.
Okay.
All she needs to do is hide the stool, and Holly will ask Jackson where the stool is, and Jackson, I don't know. and then I think she'll start to be a little suspicious.
Yeah. How about this, Taran? Because I don't really, Matt. Do you know how the stool is used? That you don't have to describe it, but I honestly
was trying.
I'm curious about that. Maybe there's people in the chat like Rob. You you naive fool. I know what they use the stool for, but I don't really know. I don't know what they do.
I don't know. Was it?
Because it's like Taran. I'm imagining it. Is it a footstool or it's like a bar stool?
Yeah. What's the level?
Do we know how tall the stool is?
It's it's about like knee height ish. I think.
Oh, it's tiny.
Small stool.
Yeah.
So it might have been like a foot prop. Could it have been inserted anywhere?
No. Okay. What about this, Taran? Okay, well, hear me, because we're workshopping stuff. What if Nicole tampers with the stool, and then hypothetically, like loosens one of the legs, and then slippery surface, maybe somebody has like a medical evacuation before the final two.
Well, here Nicole's plan, what she said is that on her way out of the house, she wants to take the stool with her, and then when Julie asks her why she has the stool, she'll say, "Well, being all alone, it's pretty clear I've got this because I effed myself."
That's funny.
Yeah. Now, can I say something to comfort is like death. Can I say something that maybe might make the all of us who are rooting for Nicole maybe feel a little bit better, Taran? Okay.
Sure.
Hypothetically, let's just play this out now. Okay, they keep Tommy. And he throws the final 4 HOH. So let's just talk this through and tell me if I'm off base here. Okay, and now the final 4 is Jackson, Nicole, Tommy, and Cliff. And now Tommy is gonna beat Jackson at the final 4 HOH, and they're gonna evict Jackson. And now here we have where now Tommy's probably, I guess Nicole would win one of those parts. I'm just saying that. Do you feel like that Nicole could beat Tommy if she got to the end? I mean, because now Tommy's winning Tommy's winning one of these parts. So
right, and I mean, if she keeps Tommy, really, in reality, Jackson still probably wins the final 4 veto. He said he was going to evict Cliff. I personally think he would have. Then she's in the final 3 with final 3 with Jackson and Tommy, where she's
Tommy
definitely locked out. Even if she does make it to the final 3 with Cliff, she does still need to beat whoever it is in part 3. We don't know what part 3 would have been. I think she would have had a better chance at winning part 3.
Sure.
But we're talking about chances here. And at the end of the day, this is what I talked about. She needed to just win more competitions, and she was just incapable of it. It just wasn't her season to win here.
Yeah.
Do we know what the part 3 is? We're done with all that questions from the house guest stuff, right? That's not even a thing.
Well,
anymore,
last year it was. Do you remember that they did like that? The really wacky hey, this is Sam, and you're listening to Sam's Welding Podcast. And then, I was turned into a robot on day 6. I don't know why this is my Sam. I was turned into a robot on day 6. I tried to medically evacuate myself on day 47. And so it's like how many things were true? And so that's what they did last year. They also did this on Big Brother Celebrity the last couple seasons as well.
Yeah. I kind of expect that to be the case, which I do think would have favored Nicole, which is why she just needed to get there. But it also could just be the crapshoot that it normally has been in previous seasons before that, where it's just, this juror said X and it could be anything. Or, they'll have some sort of massive setup and it'll be like an arm wrestling competition or something.
Taran, I do think it was a good night for Nicole's America's Favorite Player chances.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that there's a lot of campaigning out there, and people should campaign for who they want to campaign for. But ultimately, I think that Nicole is going to win it. I mean, I feel like, how is she not going to win it, right? Like, she's the underdog that's made it this far. I feel like she has been getting that edit for a long time. I think the online community can sometimes overestimate its reach. I think that the casual audience is all in on Nicole.
Okay, Matt,
I totally.
who
agree,
will
yeah.
be most surprised that they do not make the final 3 of America's Favorite Player?
Sis.
You think so? I think Christy might be.
No, I think she's under the impression America hates her.
I think so. I know she always says that, but I feel like America hates me. See, I feel like that's like a defense mechanism thing, and she actually thinks the
Christy,
opposite.
but we love you at home.
Nick, no, okay. Kat will be very surprised.
Jack
Kat will be
will
insanely
You
surprised.
think Jack thinks he's got it?
I think he somehow thinks like, despite that insane interview with Julie Chen,
I've probably still got it.
I think he has that bravado to him.
I guarantee you that both Kat and Nick are in the jury house thinking that they're the new it couple.
Yes.
I
agree, because Nick, of course, got the America's Prankster.
Yeah.
So he's in yo, America loves me. America loves me. That these ladies in the house, that it's only scratching the surface of how much everybody wants to get with me.
Yo, it's your boy Nick America.
I'm funny.
I'm hooking up with your girl Kat. It's your top 2 favorites.
Who am I gonna hook up with next? I don't know. Vote for me. Find out.
Bella who? I know you guys didn't like her.
Matt, how do you think that Nick Macaroni will be able to? Like, how will he navigate this on Wednesday night? So they'll bring out like, all right, let's bring out the pre-jury. And did you think that she's just like staring daggers at him? Like, no, I said nothing happened. Isabella.
You know, last year they made time for a proposal. This time I feel like they might make time for the opposite.
Does Nick know that Bella is on Twitter and everything? Like, and like
you don't
can
know
see
what
the
he
show
knows.
and stuff like that. Like he gets this. What? This is. Do you think they'll even let Bella do her? I don't think they're gonna let her like be vicious.
Oh, I think they'll throw her a question of. I mean, it's not like that.
And let her just give a candid Bella answer.
I mean, I don't think that they. What are they going to ask Bella about at the finale? And I would just love to see like Julie ask like, Bella, what do you think about? You saw these episodes. What do you have to say with Nick? And she could just like walk across the stage and like throw a drink in his face. That would be great.
Someone get this idea to Bella ASAP.
Yeah, she should like
give her a glass of Tabasco sauce or whatever they threw it. She could throw that in
or
his
pickle
face.
juice, like in that
Pickle
fight
juice.
you had with Mark.
Pickle
Yeah.
juice, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Scott is giving us. I don't know why we're seeing this, Taran. Can you show why is Scott giving us this shot from a competition earlier this season? Scott, why are you showing us this?
This is our puzzle.
That was for height comparison.
Oh,
for Matt.
okay.
There you go. Yeah, see, Holly is.
Well, now put it back. Now that I know what I'm looking at, I want to see what we're looking at.
Yeah. Okay. So we go full screen on that. So yeah, it looks like that.
Okay, that's significant.
Yeah, it looks like
Think
she's
of a
closer to
think of a
Tommy's height, which is a good comparison. Okay.
Yeah.
This
Thanks,
and Scott, this was just between Nicole and Holly. This wasn't for the stool conversation, right?
Strictly Nicole and Holly.
Got
I had
it.
another one, but that Holly was on a step behind Nicole.
Okay.
But Nicole's definitely around Tommy's height.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good to know. Good to know for that final. We'll see it all play out on Wednesday night. Actually, Taran, this is a good segue to what do you think they will do with the extra time now? Will we spend more time with the final 2 in terms of jury question? Will we spend more time sort of like a reunion mode where, hey, let's spend some more time with the final 5 or let's explore some, and maybe this is another reason that I was thinking of that they did not want to do a recap of the recap, that maybe Big Brother 21 did not want to revisit the first half of the season and give us a like oh, remember this? Hey, do you guys remember the time that you were all really horrible people? Do you remember that time when you said so maybe that's why we didn't do.
Remember that time we slammed the door in your face,
Yeah,
Nicole? Remember that one?
yeah.
Oh, that
Holly
was
gets
good.
to intro the clip like, hey Jackson, remember when you were banging Kat and then I lost all my self-respect and you started banging me?
Yeah.
And they clip, the clip to
You
it.
remember the time you guys were all on TMZ? Remember that time? So
remember, hey Jackson, remember when you may or may not have said the N-word?
I think he got cleared of that. I think he got cleared.
We don't know, may or may not. I don't
know. So anyway, maybe will we do some sort of like all right, Jack, what do you have to say to some of your other castmates from this season? Do you think that they will play that out on the show, or do you think that they just will want to revel in the pomp and circumstance of the finale, Taran?
I don't know. I'm kind of I'm interested to see where it goes. I mean, they really only added like I think 10 minutes by putting the full competition in this episode. So I don't think it'll be too much. I doubt they'll give more time to the jury questioning. This just doesn't seem like that they would do anything good like that. So but also like now that we know that Nicole lost part 2, like how much are we really going to drag it out after that? Like, are they really going to give a whole segment of like, well, what if they don't take each other?
Yeah. I also wonder maybe if we ended up, if we're going to get sort of like a Big Brother Canada style, like they'll do like a lot of montages and like recaps in the finale episode, kind of like instead of like the recap of the recap, they end up like a lot of like, hey, there were so many funny moments in this season. Let's take a look, and they end up doing like a lot of clip packages at the finale.
Is this a longer than an hour, or were you saying
minutes.
There's more time? Just is it
90 minutes? Yeah,
plus the time made up for competition.
Right. So so we'll see.
Yeah, I think. Well, then, not knowing that honestly, and I don't know this for a fact, but I think it was pretty obvious the public's kind of distaste with not having enough time for the people to speak. So I wonder if that's like really playing in their head, and they're just going to let the final 2 plead their case.
I mean, to be honest, even if they gave them an extra like 2 minutes or something, it's not going to make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
Or like jury questions a little better. They used to. I mean, you look back at old Big Brother seasons, it was definitely, I think, more catered to the actual event of the game, and trying to figure out who should be voted for and why, and that element kind of slowly tapered off over the years. And for extra time, bring that back.
Well, in terms of how they actually do it, Taran, I feel like that first off, not everybody even asks a question in the current format, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're usually not like personal questions.
And the questions, if I think I also have this correct, are like from a pool. So it's like
so generic.
This question, this wasn't my question, but I want to know. Tell me, what 3 words would you use to describe your game?
Well, I think in general, I think they try to avoid giving too much live TV time to the contestants themselves. Like they don't want to give them too much time on their own because they might suck and be boring, which is like, why do this then anyway? But I think that's one of the reasons why they try to keep them like they know the questions ahead of time. It's going to be they know exactly what it's going to be. They know exactly how much time it's going to take up. Those are the limitations when you do it live.
Okay. Let's take some more questions. Mindy says they got family videos the other day that weren't on the feeds. Was hoping that they would be on the episode. I'm so curious now. What was in the messages? Family members were in the HOH photos, so they signed releases. So Taran, you think we'll get that? We'll get sort of like loved ones visit type
Jackson's
videos?
Mama, probably, right?
Yep. Yeah, we'll
Video
definitely.
for Mama?
I'm sure we'll see that. Yeah,
He's gonna break down.
Do it for Mama.
Do some puzzles.
Okay. This is a question from A is for Ant. Was 25 trips back and forth really necessary? It didn't seem like there was much of a shift in the leaderboard after the puzzle. Maybe if the puzzle had been the final portion of the challenge, could have led to a more suspenseful end. Sure.
Yeah,
that would have been good.
That's how Survivor does it. They've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, 25 trips.
It was really like Jackson finished the puzzle, and then it was just like dissolve cut of them just doing the same thing over and over. And we didn't even like watch a side by side of like how many tokens they had put down.
Yeah, how
so
close
far.
do you think it was?
It was apparently relatively close, but I didn't even get that sense watching the episode. Like I just felt like I was like, oh well, I'm assuming that Jackson's still winning, and there we go.
Okay, all right. There's another question about the HOH competition. Do you think it was fair to all three? Not really. What are you gonna do? But that part 1 was always gonna be super physical. So what are you gonna do? Okay.
I would obviously not all competitions are fair, and that's fine. I think that what I would like to see is just more of a mix, especially leading up to I mean, I've always had an issue with part 1 and 2 of the final 3 HOH being so physical, even the way that they used to be, and it feels like they've gotten even more physical. People, I talked about how Cliff basically had no chance of winning from the start of the game and all throughout the season because he can't win himself to the end. Because he's just incapable of beating anybody in part 1 and 2, unless there are somebody else who's his age essentially.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of annoying to see that there are some people that are just flat out locked out of the final 3 HOH.
Yeah, but also Taran, once upon a time that part 2 of this challenge was that you had to close all the windows in the house and eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Do the laundry.
Do the laundry.
Hey, that was a good competition. That's a classic.
That's a classic.
That was relevant to your stay in the Big Brother house. That was, what? That is the equivalent of the Final 4 fire making challenge in Survivor.
Yeah, I think Danielle Reyes almost had a panic attack because she didn't want to eat the peanut butter.
Hey, crunchy peanut butter sucks, man.
It's not, so they've always been challenging. Okay. Let's take a question from Mindy. Thinking back to your initial impressions of the house guests from the beginning of the season, who's most different than what you expected? Matt, do you have anybody that you felt like was really a lot different?
Totally. I remember Jack from his interviews because I remember commenting how his interview came across as like he was this real kind, like compassionate.
I bet that's really funny to go back and listen to now.
Oh my God, it's so crazy. I thought he was going to be like the softy,
just a lover, love everybody.
Yeah, definitely Jack.
Just, big softy, hang out with my dog all the time. Yeah, like America's gonna love this guy. He's Aquaman. Yeah,
I think Bella was the person that I got the most wrong in the preseason.
Yeah,
I did not. I mean,
what'd you think about her?
I liked Bella. I was interested to see Bella. Even in the first episode, I was like, this Bella, she's great in the diary room.
She had a great first episode. She really did.
Yeah. And then and then Bella happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh.
Yep.
Very different.
Yep. Okay. Tara from Albany has a good question. Matt, if you got to be a presenter on the Summer of Stein Oofy Awards, what award would you have presented? Would you have had a one particular award that you wanted to come out and present for the Oofiest achievement in Big Brother 21?
This is embarrassing, but what is this? What does this mean? What does this question mean?
Yeah,
it's an award set.
Yeah.
But do I have a list to pick from, or is I can
make up an award?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like we have to pick. So you need enough nominees. You need a category.
No, yeah, you can just make something.
So,
up. Just a joke.
I guess to pick a category that would have enough nominees, you have to say like who is your favorite? I guess like Nick Conquest. Nick,
oh, okay,
right?
Yeah. So
the best Nick. Who's like Nick's greatest hump?
Yes. All right. So there would be a lot of nominees.
Yeah, get a good selection.
Yeah, Taran, what do you think that will Nick on social media after the show? Will he go into hiding, or do you think he will just be out there and talking to his fans?
I think that Nick is going to be very active on social media.
So too. I think Nick has no shame.
I think Nick is going to use his DMs like Tinder and just bang anything and everybody that slips into those. No,
I'm expecting a lot of retweets from fans, like the fans being like, "Oh, Nick is a god," and it was a retweet from Nick.
Major retweeter.
Yeah. That's what that's what my guess.
Not since Joey Rodriguez will there be a Big Brother contestant sliding into more DMs.
There's always like
there's always a bunch of new accounts are gonna pop up. You and Nick should really hook up, actually.
There's always like BB fans that you can tell would probably want to hook up with you sometimes. No matter who you are, no matter how repulsive of a alumni you are, they're there, and you just usually disengage with them because it's clear. And I think Nick's gonna be the one to just like take them all in. He's gonna have his own little harem.
Yeah.
Of these like BB fan misfit
Okay.
women.
There's a question from Katie. There's talk of Jackson thinking about taking Nicole if he wins. How likely do you think that is? I mean, Taran, is there any chance that we could see a disruption of the status quo?
I gave you how that.
Yes.
We discussed this already. This question.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is insulting to Matt that we're even bringing this up again because he already laid out the perfect plan. I don't think it's happening. No.
Yeah. Is there a 1% chance it could happen?
I don't think there's even a 1%. I mean, it's like a 0.001% chance.
There's a chance. Here's why I think that I would take the over on that. Look, we talk about the diary room and that there are not that they are able to sort of change what people really want to do, but maybe they like incept you a little bit with like, hey, right, Matt? Isn't there like a more than
they'll hype you up. Yeah, they'll always make you think you have a shot. I mean, there's a possibility Nicole could get like some twist could happen where she gets a solitary confinement with like a disco in it, and then she just comes out.
Yeah.
And head like a Nicole's funeral.
Well, look, I'm not gonna say that Jackson Mickey's not a really impressionable guy. I'm not gonna say that Holly might not be open to narrative and like, hey, don't you want to be seen as the person who wouldn't that what would that be like if you were the person, the strong independent woman who ended up.
They are 100% doing almost probably verbatim from what you're saying right there. I'll bet.
I just feel like Taran, there's I think a possibility. I'm not a likelihood, but I wouldn't say it's a 0% chance.
No, it's not 0%. It's 0.01%.
Yeah. Look, and they have nothing else to think about. All right, let's take a question from Richard. Now that the first two parts are done, how can Jackson and Holly not see it's in their best interest to take Nicole in the end, or at least Holly? And they really are they that mute when it comes to the jury? Shouldn't they be able to figure out it's in their best shot against Nicole's resume? I mean, is this sort of just wishful thinking on the part of Richard? Is it in either of their best interests to take Nicole to the end?
Holly's right or not? Am I wrong about that?
Well, here's the thing. If Holly loses to Jackson, then it is in Holly's best interest to cut Jackson. But we don't know for sure if Holly loses to Jackson, so it's hard to say. We'll definitely be able to know if it's the right move for her after we see what happens. That'll be nice and easy. But right now it's not that easy.
Could Holly feasibly beat Jackson? Is that like when you line up the votes?
I think Jackson has, given the jury segments, given the game recaps, I think Jackson has it. But Holly does have reason to believe that she might have a chance, especially after the pitch that Cliff and Nicole made to keep Cliff around, that they'd be bitter jurors. And so, Holly taking Jackson out, taking Nicole, it could be a nice big boost to her resume. I could see that being enough to give her the win. But in all honesty, it's almost just as likely, if not more likely, that by taking Nicole, they lose the game where they would have won because they just brought the most likable person in the house.
Mm-hmm. Matt, can you believe that 2,300 people are still watching this on YouTube after this episode tonight?
Is that what's going on right now?
Yeah.
I think people maybe just fell asleep with their computer. It is late. It's late. Yeah. It's football that delays everything.
Like, I'm impressed. You guys are real
Thanks,
hardcore.
Hey.
Yeah.
A lot of Hoff maniacs out there.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Maybe, probably not.
All right, let me tell you about what else is coming up, and then we'll come back with the guys. Australian Survivor. Look at this. The King of the Jungle, Luke Toki, joins Shannon Gates for a... Why are you laughing, Matt?
I don't know these people. Luke Toki's a great name. It sounds fake. I love it.
Luke
Toki.
Cool, he is.
It's like a rock star.
He is he is to Australian Survivor what you are to American Big Brother. He's the
poor guy. I've heard nothing but awesome stuff about Australian Survivor this particular season. I mean to keep watching that. Is it worth watching? It's real long.
There's a lot of episodes. Big, almost as many as Big Brother.
Yeah, right.
So, but hey, Big Brother's slowing down, so it's the perfect time to jump in with Luke Toki. And then also, get this, Matt. There's this woman named Shannon Gates. She podcasts about Australian Survivor. But also, she simultaneously podcasts about a different season Survivor South Africa. They both just ended recently. And she's got another interview with a woman that was just on a different international Survivor. And that's Nicole Capper.
Was she on Survivor?
Yes.
Nicole
Capper.
The person
Shannon
interviewing
Gates
was
not,
on.
Not yet.
Was not on Survivor.
Not yet. Right.
Not yet, but she will be.
She I don't know. Maybe.
We're gonna see.
Maybe. Right after Taran goes on Big Brother.
There's a lot going on here.
And then the B&B, Mike and Liana, they're playing some games, and then they were on the preseason podcast. Scott, was there a guest on the preseason B&B?
There was no
guest. Oh, wow.
No guest. No.
Just
Guestless.
A rare Mike and Liana, no guest on the RHAP B&B for season 39, the Island of the Idols. Holly's game in review. Taran, that was on Saturday, right? Taran went through the Holly's game in review. Then
you had to do that, Taran? God bless you, man.
Yeah,
for making your way through that one.
Taran, did you do all of these solo? I was watching the Holly one. I thought that maybe nobody wanted to talk about Holly's game with you.
Yeah, they're all solo. They're all solo. Okay. Helps keep them from being 4 hours long.
Okay. Nicole's game was today, and then what is Mickey coming tomorrow?
Yes.
How long is the Holly one? I gotta know. Was it more than like 5 or 10 minutes? Was it like a long one?
Well, here's the thing. Just because they don't do anything doesn't mean that I'm not talking about what was happening around them and like what they were a part of. So like Holly wasn't a very active player, but she is still around a lot of active things. So, it's still.
I mean, how long was the KC one last year? It was hours and hours, right?
Yeah, it was like 2.5 hours. Tyler's was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
You're a talented man, Taran Armstrong.
Nobody else could do it.
Sincerely.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Wow.
Okay, so find out what does Taran have to say about Jackson's game in review on Monday morning, and then what will Tuesday be?
There's no Tuesday.
Oh, no Tuesday. Cancel it.
I'll be on a flight.
Okay. And then what about Wednesday? The feed's gonna stay on?
No. The feeds are done.
Oh, so tomorrow is the season finale of the live feed update?
Yeah, that's what we got. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
you also have to make sure you tune into the roundtable tomorrow.
Monday. All right. So Monday morning, season finale of the live feed update, and then on Monday night will be the LFC roundtable. Let's check that out.
There it is.
Okay. What can you tell us about the final LFC roundtable of the season, or will you be back next week?
Well, we'll do a wrap up afterward as well, of course. But tomorrow night,
great screenshot of Brent for the LFC roundtable.
Tomorrow night, early 5 p.m. Eastern.
Brent looks like he's crying in the picture.
Well,
is he gonna lose the stock watch? Is that what's happening?
Oh, he's already lost.
How about this for the Oofy Awards, man? I went all in on Nick Macaroni at one point. It was my Hail Mary.
Oh,
stock was $1. I really got screwed on the night that Sam went home, where I ended up putting a bunch of money into Sam, and then he got so then I had to sell everything else and just go all in on the cheapest person I could afford, Nick Macaroni.
Sell it.
Yeah. Yes. So early roundtable tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna get it done, and we're gonna rate the players. We're gonna go over jury vote predictions, and it'll be very interesting. It'll be very fun. It's the final one of the season, and then of course we'll do a wrap up after the season as well. But it'll be interesting.
Okay. All right, that's about the LFC Roundtable. Summer of Stein, check that out with Eric. We had a lot of fun. People said that was only maybe the episode with Matt Hoffman might have been a funnier Summer of Stein this season.
How flattering.
With the Oofy Awards. And then on Wednesday night, we'll get you started with Survivor Know-It-All. Stephen Fishback and Dominic Abate are going to talk about the first episode of the Island of the Idols. Matt, do you keep up with Survivor?
I do. I love Survivor,
okay,
yeah.
What do you think of the Rob and Sandra Island of the Idols?
I always like Sandra. I like both of them as people on TV.
Have you ever met them?
Sandra drove me around somewhere. I don't remember where we were going at one point.
She didn't think you were a fan like JC?
I think she knew who I was. It was like right after my season. It was like peak Hoffman relevancy.
Yes.
And I'm sure she wouldn't know anything about who I am now. And then, of course, I used to do all those goofy evil
Yes. Oh,
dick,
yeah.
hacky web show. And so she would always be on that.
Oh, yeah.
So I of course, I'll do that. But yeah, I love Survivor. I think it's far superior than BB in recent years.
Okay. All right. Well, Wednesday night we'll get you kicked off, and then Brent and the panel are going to bring you home on Wednesday night, where Holly is front and center. Taran, is this Scott? Sometimes with these graphics, can somehow predict the future. Sometimes.
Jackson looks even more photoshopped than he did the first time I saw this photo now, because now he looks so different.
Yeah.
What is that? I was going to ask you earlier when that came up. That's a weird picture.
Weird picture with the bicep.
That arm thing.
So there you go. Big Brother Wednesday night finale recap. So be on the lookout with that. And then also Taran and I are going to be talking Survivor later on this week after we get back from the not that night, but later on in the week. Of course, it's all made possible by the patrons of RHAP as a podcast. Find out more about everything that we're doing, getting the Survivor season kicking off on Wednesday. It's a great time to jump on in at robhasawebsite.com/patron. We got our patron-only podcast feed doing 2 extra patron shows a week, plus everything going on in our patron community on Facebook, connecting all the people that love these shows at robhasawebsite.com/patron. And then, Matt, listen to this. We've got a big sleepover going on this week that Taran is coming out here, and we're not just going to the finale, but Taran is going to be staying here at my house.
Yeah.
At the compound?
At the compound. and then Nicole is already saying like, oh, okay, well, Taran can watch the kid. Oh, stop. You can't just draft
That was the
people.
motivation behind her
You can't
inviting
just
me.
draft people into being a babysitter for you.
What's the occasion of the slumber party?
Nicole in New York was like, Taran, you need to come stay with us. Come on, you should come stay with us. And I was like, all right, I don't have to pay for a hotel. That would be nice. It would be nice to hang out.
Is Caitlin Herman going to be there? You guys do like a whole.
No, she doesn't. She's not. She doesn't.
She's not invited.
Sleep here. Yeah.
Like a whole
Yeah.
thing.
I'm sure we'll see. I'm sure we'll see her, but she's not gonna sleep here.
Wow, this is funny. You guys got to put like live feed cameras on. Like, are you gonna put a tent in the living room and like do like a fun thing?
I don't know if we're gonna do it. I don't know if we're gonna do a tent, but yeah.
Have a pillow fight or like make popcorn. Talk
all
about
of the above.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? We're just gonna. Yeah, we're just going.
Great, how fun.
Going to the Big Brother house, podcasting. It's gonna be the best week ever.
All right.
Yeah. But Taran, I said Taran is not babysitting. That don't just draft him into. Make him do watch the kids. It's.
How would you do babysitting, Taran, if you had to rate yourself?
I mean,
can you hold your own with kids?
Yeah, generally.
All right, Rob, that's a confident answer. Let him watch
the best thing about Taran being your babysitter is that you come home and say, all right, well, Taran, how was it? Like, let me, hello everybody and good morning. It was an exciting day with the kids. We started it out that Dominic and Anthony were at the table and they were eating their breakfast. And then Dominic came in with a toy, and this was a toy that Anthony wanted. And you get the whole recap. It'd be fantastic.
That would be great. You put that as a patron show. People would like that.
Be a whole recap of that. Okay. All right. So
I'd listen.
So lots of stuff coming up this week. All right, Matt Hoffman, where can people see more about what you're doing?
Oh my God, where can't you? I mean, I'm everywhere, Rob.
What do you have to plug, Matt Hoffman?
All right. Well, where do we start? You find me on Twitter, obviously. It's great content. But the greatest of content, Rob, is where, of course, Cameo.
Yes.
Where you can get this right here direct to your inbox.
Yeah.
Man,
what kind of stuff
almost no money.
What kind of stuff do people ask for in a Cameo?
I see there's over 2,000 people sitting in this chat room now. If you all just pitch in, you have some great content coming to you right from Matt Hoffman.
Yes. Okay. What will you do on a Cameo? What could people get from you?
I will do I have almost no shame. Like the barometer is so low. So you guys would be astounded what I almost did not do. And you'll get some great content.
All SFW, right? It's nothing NSFW.
Oh, you're right, Rob. I didn't know what kind of people were. Yes, no dongs or anything like that. No.
Well, you're making the video. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm making the video. I'm not gonna. No. It's all good content. I'm not gonna like do stuff.
Is it possible that maybe Nick's Avenue after the show that he might get like some sort of like a Paulie Calafiore type NSFW website going where
oh my God.
Then he'll send you photos.
Well, that would be great for his business.
Yeah. Yo.
Yeah. Yo. You guys, your head sick.
Who wants a Nick pic? Okay. And Taran, where can people get more Taran?
You can go to twitch.tv/Taran Armstrong. Despite Matt's encouragement, I haven't yet made a cameo account.
I think
it would do well, Taran.
Oh, do so well. I'd book him.
Yeah.
You already have.
I'd do it again. It was quality content, you guys. I got like a private cameo. Also, no dongs.
Yeah.
By the way.
It's true. It's true.
Okay.
So you can also find me on Twitter at ArmstrongTaran and Instagram Taran_Armstrong.
And tune in for the live babysitting feed coming up.
Yeah. What about a live stream? It's just a recap. We don't need like live cameras here. We don't need that.
I'll strap a camera on myself the entire time I'm at Rob's place. I'm sure that would be very much what Rob wants.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you guys, Matt. This was so fun.
It's always fun. I miss you guys. It's fun time.
Yeah. Fun stuff here at the end of the season. Scott St. Pierre, great job all season long on the Big Brother recaps. This is my last live recap of the Big Brother season. Thank you for all pulling all the questions, Scott. Great work once again.
Thanks, Rob. You're very welcome.
And also a big shout out to our moderators, Taran. That we have a team of moderators who are, and not just on the recaps during the live feed updates, the LFC roundtable, and
I like that Scott popped in like Big Brother. He's like, hey Scott, do like Rob, please, stop that or something.
House guests, please stop talking about production.
So this is great.
Yeah. Can we get a Scott loves you?
Scott loves you.
You guys got to utilize this shit more. You're missing out on this opportunity,
Yeah,
Scott. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah, Scott. What are some things that is there what can I get scolded for on the podcast?
Hold on. Whenever Caitlin starts singing, Scott can chime in.
I could jump in when Caitlin's singing. Absolutely.
Caitlin, I'd love to.
Please stop singing.
Keep singing.
Yeah, you got it.
Scott said shut it down.
Or fact checks along the way too. I'm always like trying to find information and trying to get it to you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us all summer long. Be sure to check out everything coming up this week and take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.